Hello everybody, AOG Gaming here, back with another video on MTG Arena. Hope that my microphone is not muted. Okay, so I'm going to make my definitive claim on this game, whether it's a good or bad game. Right away, it's a horrible game. It is a waste of your money, it is a waste of your time. Wizards of the Coast is a horrible company. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much the video. Yeah, they basically took one of the best card games. Like Konami, much better way of doing their game. They at least have every card, or most cards, that go back however long, like some of the beta cards. Like they just have such an impressive library that you can do anything in that game. Of course, that game has its own problems, but I mean, you can't do anything in that game that you can do you can do everything in that game that you can do in real life. This game is completely different because they added alchemy, and also their algorithm for shuffling cards and matchmaking is rigged against you, so it's nothing compared to real life, because in real life you would know what your opponent is playing beforehand. There's the rule 0 thing, and of course you're not going to be playing against an opponent who's just using all kill spells, all counter spells, or all board wipes, because people who play that genuinely deserve to die. I am not taking that back, and I'm not going to apologize, because that is true. People who play like that are degenerate fucks who deserve to die. You don't play Magic for any other reason than to hurt people. For that, you should be jailed, sued, and tortured. Not to death, but over and over again, so that when you wake up, you realize your mistake, but you still continue in hell because that is your fate. I went a little too far, but you understand what I mean. The game has so many problems. The biggest part of it is matchmaking. Well, actually, there's 3 big problems, right? So matchmaking, your deck. For some reason, no matter how many lands you put in your fucking deck, unless you put more than half, you're gonna get lands. Otherwise, you get mana screwed for like 5 turns in a row. Even if you have, I don't know, 27 lands in your deck, which is what? Oh, I don't know, about half of the fucking deck. So what does that mean? That means every card you draw, there's about a 50% chance of getting a land. Did you get a land? No. Because why? Because Wizards of the Coast made it so you don't get a land. That's how their algorithm works. Real life, that is not how it works. I've played Magic so many times in real life. The amount of times I've gone mana screwed is like an 100th of the amount of times I've gone mana screwed on this game. It is pretty much an RNG factor. When you start this game, you open it up, you start playing, you're hit with an RNG factor. That is literally all that people play this game do. They're waiting for the RNG to hit, whether the RNG is against you or with you. Sometimes it's with you when you have, all the money in the game, and you're able to break the game by playing the most broken cards. That's most YouTubers. Every YouTuber you see out there, they are not free to play. They are spending a ridiculous amount of money on this game. Now, again, you can't really blame them for not being free to play. I'm not free to play either, because this game, the third part about it that is horrible is the monetization. They have made it so bad that it is not even worth it to spend money on this game. Rather, you should buy the physical cards of the new sets they release, which already come with the codes, and then just use the codes in this game, because spending money is completely a waste of time. It is not worth it, and they're just stealing your money, because eventually you're not going to be able to use those cards. So yeah, they have pretty much screwed us over then. Yeah, and then it's like, again, going back to the whole library thing, they don't have a full library of Magic, which is no excuse, because Konami and Pokemon both have them. Granted, Pokemon, the trading card game online, is a little different. Same with Konami, but they're very similar, and they have pretty much most of their libraries. Well, most of the cards that people play, right? Not like all these random bulk cards, but they have a lot of like the old value cards that people used. So yeah, it's just like, it's really sad. They only go back as far as Kaldesh, which is like, you have no excuse. There's literally no excuse. What happened to all the other sets that were in the game before? And the only reason it's crashing is because, 1, they keep releasing busted alchemy cards, and 2, they're focusing more on the monetization rather than actually fixing the game. So the people who are supporting this game are 100% just supporting a scam for people in general. Because what they're doing is they're advertising it for free. They're giving good content to people who think that they're going to get the same content when they play this game. In reality, as they're playing this game, they're going to realize it's not that. In fact, the people who showed you the video just spend a ridiculous amount of money in the game just so they could have that experience. And it just goes to show that there's no real content for MTG Arena out there. You can't make real content on this game because all of it is paid content. And paid content is literally just somebody spending their money. Anybody can do that. Not anybody can do free to play. Yes, it's garnered towards that, but it takes skill, it takes dedication, and it takes knowledge. And last but not least, perseverance, because sometimes the free to play systems are really horrible. More often than not. I don't know why. They think that free to play players are what's causing them to lose money. Or I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, because at this point, they're just throwing random shit out there and hoping that it works when it's the same shit that we're saying we don't want. Like, it doesn't make sense to me how stupid developers or companies are in general. They're like, this is the way we're going to make money. And like, it works for like a month or two, and then they start losing money, and they're like, huh, I wonder what happened. Oh, I know what happened. You're a fucking dumbass. That's what happened. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to stop making videos on this game because there's no point. Again, the only way you get views on this game, or like, I mean, I didn't make this channel specifically for views, but it's like I'm at least trying to make a career out of YouTube, and this game is just going to be a waste of time. Because I'm just going to have to pour money into it over and over and over again. So yeah, Wizards of the Coast, thank you for ruining a great game. Because I was able to play physical Magic when I was younger. I can't really now unless I go out and play, but I don't have time for that. I need to make money, and I'm broke, so like I need stuff. I have stuff to do, right? I can't just go out and play physical Magic. So playing online is much easier. I'm at home. I've got like 30 minutes to an hour to myself to do something. So let me just do it, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's just fucking ridiculous that we let companies do this, and YouTubers see no problem with it. It's just really sad because it sets a precedent, right? And it's been here for a while. You know, once gacha games came out, every fucking company out there, like, it's been a decade in the making, obviously, since the 2010s or whatever, when they started releasing gacha games, and they started incorporating things like, oh, like Fortnite was the first console game to get onto it. They had the whole battle pass thing. They had all this other shit. We've seen that before in games. Way before Fortnite did it. Mobile Legends Adventures did it way before they did. They have this whole like pass system where you get levels, you collect stuff, cosmetics, skins. Like, it's really not that hard to step back and see that it all started from microtransactions. Companies putting microtransactions in games, and gamers thinking that that was a good idea because they can advance further. While it's great for the pay-to-win part of the games, it makes the games exclusively pay-to-win for the competitive scene, which is not what you want, because who's going to play a game where you have to pay money to be competitive? Like, there is only the hardcore fans, right? And most of the people who carry the game are not the people who are the hardcore fans. It is the people who are the average players who like the game because it is a fun game to play. This game is slowly dying. You can already tell with the metrics, the amount of people playing the game, and things like that. It has an average user base, though, because it's Magic. Like, there's such a big following behind it, just the physical game itself, that I don't think it's going to die, but it'll slowly, like, wither until Wizards of the Coast does something. Maybe they'll introduce something new into the game that actually helps it, but you can already tell, right? Like, YouTubers, they've gone from hundreds of thousands of views on this game to tens of thousands. You can already tell. People are losing interest in the game because there's literally nothing new in the game. It's just spamming combos and being paired up against people that have counter decks to your deck. And also, they get drawn specific cards to counter exact cards in your hand. And when you're playing the game, you either get mana screwed, you don't get the cards you need, or your opponent is just outplaying you because their deck is drawing every card they need to outplay you. So it's just like, you can't win with this company because they do everything to make sure that you will spend money so that you have the best deck. All the people in Mythic as well, they're playing for hours a day, unrealistic. So yeah, to that I say goodbye, game. It was not nice knowing you. Yeah, I definitely had a lot more fun Like it was such an interesting concept to me that they were able to put a card game, you know, online, and that we were actually able to do stuff with it. But now I realize it's just a whole nother scam thing that they're doing. So I'm just done playing this online game. I'm done making videos on it because I don't want to promote this scam of game, and I don't want to lead people on to think that I'm playing this game because it's worth my time. It's not. I'm only playing this game because I love Magic so much that I'm willing to put up with the fact that this game is horrible for a few games once in a while. But now I am not playing this game every day because there's no point. Spent $20 on the paddle pass or whatever, and I'm like, yep, waste of my money, complete waste of time. I think I'm just done. I think this is this is the conclusion I came to originally, but I didn't decide to go through with it because, again, I do have an insane love for Magic the Gathering in general, but the online version of it is a scam, waste of your money, and like I said, they obviously know what they're doing because they're taking away sets that people have bought in the past. Like, think about it. They brought Contestic here all the way back here, so eventually, or I guess they'll leave it in because it's still blacked. All the orange ones are the old ones. They're gonna take away like half of these, or all of the orange ones. Once there's enough white ones to replace all the orange ones, there's twice as many as them, right? Or about. And then they'll start phasing some of these older ones. So up to Innistrad, they'll start phasing Innistrad, Crimson Vow, Kamigawa, and New Capenna to the old orange, and that means they could only be played in historic. So you basically get screwed, and all of your cards eventually can only be played in one format. Why did they do this? Wizards of the Coast. I know the person who created this game is not the same as the company. So the person who created this game was not thinking that the game was going to be a scam like they made here. So I don't know. I just think that they've pretty much strayed from the vision of what the game was supposed to be. Only play physical Magic. I know that sucks if you can't find friends. If you can't, then I still don't suggest wasting your time on this. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! That duel game. Honestly, I find it much more fun than this game because you don't have like these stupid game-breaking combos. You do have ridiculous combos in that game. Obviously, you got like turn 1 wins. You got like just stupid shit that never lets you play anything. Stuff that kills all your monsters. Like, you obviously have some dumb stuff in that game. You do in this game as well. But in that game, it feels a little bit more balanced in terms of you're not just gonna you're gonna be able to play what you want, or your opponent is gonna outplay you. Like, that's the only difference in that scenario, and it really just comes down to deck building and luck at that point. This game, it comes down to RNG. It's not luck because you can't be lucky. It is just dependent on what the system wants, and most of the time it's to your detriment. Unless you have 4 of every copy, you have a perfectly maximized deck, and even then you can still get screwed over, which is like the stupidest shit I've ever seen. In real life, that would never happen because when you shuffle normally. There's no fucking algorithm changing the shuffling of your deck so that you get mana screwed, you get card screwed, or your opponent just gets every card to counter each card you're playing in sequence. It's ridiculous. I've shown you gameplay over and over again of the exact same, everything that I'm talking about happening over and over again. Yeah. Alright, well that's it. So I do apologize for a quick end to this series, but just like with Plarium, if it's going to be a company that doesn't actually make a good game and just tries to steal money from people and make a scam of a game, then there's no point in playing the game anymore, right? And there's no point to market it or advocate for people to play it. Or even just make videos on it, because again, it draws attention, which people then say, let me check out this game. They get hooked on it because, again, companies use psychology to hook you in, but that's all they use psychology for. They don't care about whether it's good for your health. They don't care about whether you're having a good time. They just care about you spending money so that they make the bottom line, or whatever it's called. Yeah, I mean, it's the same shit I say for every single game, but it comes down to the same thing, right? Companies are way too greedy for their own good, and that's why they never last longer than a couple of years. the companies that have lasted decades, gaming companies, are console gaming companies. Or I mean, even now, there's some of those companies are under fire. Like, not under fire, but they're just like, there's a lot of black backlash because there's a lot of shit that's coming to light. A lot of people are seeing companies literally will say they're good and be two-faced and completely do something horrible without you even realizing it, because that is their way of basically cutting corners to make money. They will try everything to make sure that you can't find out what it is, but it's still there and it's still making them as much money as possible in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter whether it's scamming, whether it's taking money. Like, obviously they try not to go the illegal route because it's illegal, but of course there's loopholes and laws, and then obviously they can just like mitigate not legislation, but they can just stall for time. That's the best way of putting it. So yeah, it just sucks. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching. It for this game. I know it's been a short-lived series, but yeah, it was painful while it lasted. Yeah, I hope the Wizards of the Coast, I hope all of the company XFs die. Their family gets kidnapped and tortured. They get sick. Like, I just hope some of the most horrible shit happens to them, because that is exactly what these people deserve. People who try and take money rather than produce a product that is worth the money. They just try and take money because they use the license that they have to take money in a way that is detrimental to the people by just spewing out bullshit content. Like, this set is just horrible. I'm sorry, but this set has been horrible. There's just a ton of stuff that just ruins gameplay. Hey, it breaks the game. The doppelgang one is the worst one. It just breaks the game. It's not even that I care about them beating me with the card. Like, okay, you played the doppelgang, you copied 30 things, you beat me. I respect that. You made it so I can't even play the fucking game, so I have to close the tab, end the game, call it over. And it's one card, but it ruins the entire gameplay because I can't even concede to go to the next match. It literally just times out. I'm stuck. It freezes. I can't even quit my game. It takes a while. The game eventually quits because the app stops running, and then I have to open it over again. And then I have to wait until the game is over, because if I don't, it puts me back in. It does the cycle over again, and then I gotta wait. So yeah, waste of time, yes. Should you delete? Yes. In fact, can I do it from here, or do I have to? Okay, well, I have to do it from somewhere else. I can close this, right? Oh, it's gonna close that. Wait. Oh no, it doesn't do that. Okay. Well, I'm trying to see if I can just delete it and see if that works. Here. We go here. We go to settings. Okay. I'll put it on this screen. System. Oh, apps. There we go. We go for MTG. Then we go for uninstall. And boom. Goodbye. A waste of space. Are you unable to close MTG? Do I have to do it myself? Wait. Maybe I should close the app.